headspace. Been weaker, it's been waiting for the right day. Like the right day ever comes, now it's Friday. And nothing's changed. Mistakes that everyone is making, but I can't change. I'm stuck in reverse like an old Benz. Forgot to tap it up. Now I long for another day where things fall into place. So if you're down, I'll be down. Pack your bags, fill them up. We can go tonight, take a flight to a higher ground. How does that sound? How does that sound? So strange, why it always feel like it's too late. Waiting nothing here and it's too late. But that's not true. It's not strange to quit another job cause it was draining. To try a different road though it's been fake.
Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Bailey and I'm the owner of Goo Goo Goods. Today's video is going to be another craft fair vlog. I call it a craft fair, but I guess it's technically not really a craft fair. I am about to go to the Seminole City Town Center Mall. I think that's what it's called. It's kind of a long name. And it's not very far away. It's around 30 minutes away. And right now it's almost 9 o'clock and setup begins at 9:30. But I have to go in the mall first to check in and get my spot. I'm calling it a craft fair vlog, but I guess it's more of just like an event situation. Well, not even really an event. It's kind of complicated. So this weekend, today Saturday and tomorrow Sunday, is actually free for vendors, and the email said there's going to be about 92 of us between these 2 days. So there are definitely going to be a lot of people there, or a lot of vendors there. I don't know if there are going to be a lot of shoppers there or not, but the mall is under new management. Like, it's been bought by someone else and they're trying to kind of like revamp it and revitalize it and kind of start the mall back up again, if that makes sense. So this weekend is kind of like an event where they have made it free for vendors to come and set up, and I guess kind of use it as like marketing or advertising for the mall itself, to advertise itself to us vendors to see if we want to pay to have a permanent spot there, or if we want to come back and it'd be like $35 per day or whatever to set up, kind of in the same situation. So I'm very interested to see how it turns out. Obviously it was a free event, so I don't have too much invested in it. It was just more of a time investment for me today because setup is at 9:30 and we're not supposed to break down until like 7:30 at night. So it's definitely gonna be kind of a long-ish day, but it's inside, so I always feel like inside markets are a lot more like a lot less stressful, a lot more stress-free is what I was gonna say. They're a lot less stressful. I've not done an indoor market in a hot minute, but I do feel like indoor markets are less stressful because you're not worried about being out in the heat or anything like that. So I'm definitely going into it with a positive attitude, especially because last weekend my event at Milk Mart was so stinking good, but it was really, really hot. Almost had heat stroke, whole situation. So I'm going into it with a positive mindset, and who knows, maybe it's actually like really, really good and I'll decide to make it part of like my monthly routine that I set up there on a Saturday. Who knows? So let's just go over there and set up. I don't really know. I don't know if it's gonna be kind of like in the food court area or just like on like one of the levels of the mall. Obviously I'll do like a little walkthrough and show you how it is, but I have no idea. I'm going into it blind. I've never been to this before, so I don't know. I'll see when I get over there though.
Old days, I used to think I'm the problem, that I was way too sensitive, reacting way too much, until I realized we were different types, carrying a different triggers, scaring us to death. Oh, someday we will collide. collide someplace where we can hide our space. Forget the world outside, just for a while, some way. We will be fine, safe place, just you and I, always. I will wait for us to collide. I'll wait, I'll wait. Old days, I used to blame me for crying, till I realized that I had needs you didn't meet. But that's all days, now that we see each other. Can we slow down, start over? Come closer. Oh, someday we will collide someplace where we can hide our space. Forget the world outside, just for a while, some way. We will be fine, safe place, just you and I, always. I will wait for us to collide. It's perfect, but we are perfect together. Oh, together. No one's perfect, but we are perfect together. Oh, together. You say you don't wanna get in trouble, that you're doing fine cause you got me. I don't wanna break your little bubble, but you gotta wake up to reality. Cause I can see in your eyes, your head is full of dreams. Tears are a proof of failure, you just gotta let them flow without judge. There's so many ways to be happy. You can do whatever you like. You don't have to be ready. You just gotta trust the right. Don't have to be scary. You just gotta follow the light. You're able to be happy. You can do whatever you like. You don't have to be ready. You don't have to be. I see you hesitating while you're waiting, like somebody's gonna give it to you. You gotta chase it, gotta believe it. You gotta go get it for yourself. Cause I can see in your eyes, your head is full of dreams. Tears are a proof of failure, you just gotta let them flow without judge. There's so many ways to be happy. You can do whatever you like. You don't have to be ready. You just gotta trust the right. Don't have to be scary. You just gotta follow the light. You're able to be happy. You can do whatever you like. You don't have to be ready.
I'm finally all set up, and I'll show you my setup in a second, but I wanted to wipe my hands. I feel like keeping wet ones in your bag is essential. So I'm gonna wipe my hands real quick. It's been kind of a cluster this morning because like right now I'm pretty sure it's already like noon. Let me see what time it is. Pretty sure it's close to noon. Yeah, so it's 12:01 and like technically like we were supposed to be set up at 11, but they didn't want you to start setting up until 9:30. And so I got here like at 9:30 and I didn't know where the food court was, and my phone kept telling me it was like behind like the Dick's Sporting Goods. So I went over there and I went inside and I was like, hi, like I'm trying to find the food court, and they were like, oh, that's like on the opposite side of the mall. So I like had to get in my car and then go find the food court, and then once I parked and came in, and you're supposed to like go and like check in to get your table number. I came in and there was a long line, super long line to get your table number. So I didn't end up like getting checked in until like 9:50-ish, I want to say. And then I had to move my car from like in front of the food court to this like little back area and unload through a like a back hallway. And so it took me a really long time to get my stuff like unpacked from the car and then park my car. So I didn't actually start setting up in my space until maybe like 10:50 or something like that. And then it took me like a long time to like get stuff together. I don't really know why it took me so long exactly to get set up, but I'm set up, I'm here. I had to like move this back. The person like came by and was like, you can't like have that this far out in the area, so we had to scoot it back. So I'm kind of a little bit flustered in here because moving that back made me have to scoot my table back too. And when I had to scoot my table back, it pretty much like got rid of all of my storage area over here. So I'm kind of just like cramped right here, but that's fine. But my hopes are kind of falling a little bit based on how many people I've seen walk around the mall so far. There's not really very many people here. I'll get up and kind of like show you what the mall is looking like. There are people set up upstairs. I'm like on the first level. People are set up down here and people are set up upstairs. A lot of people did not show, which I guess is kind of good for me because the person who's supposed to be behind me, not here. Person beside me, not here. Person who's in front of me, both people that are supposed to be in front of me, not here. Like almost everyone down that way, not here. So probably not a good sign. Once again, it was free, but kind of annoying. But because these people aren't here, I was able to sprawl. So yeah, so that is how it's looking like so far. Also kind of a weird thing, when I like told her like my name and she like marked off on the list, she had like a map, and I was like, oh, like, you mind like if I take a picture of like my spot on the map just so like I know? And she like refused to let me take a picture of it. She was like, I can't let you do that. So that was kind of weird. I was like, oh, okay. But I brought my mirror and I thought about hanging my mirror up, but there's not gonna be room in that one rack, and I have my white IKEA rack, but the top did not make it into my car. So I don't have the top to it, so obviously I can't use the rack because I don't have the top to it. So my mirror is just kind of over here hanging out. I did bring my stamp. In a previous video, one of you guys mentioned that maybe I should do like a DTF with my logo and put it like on a tote bag, and when someone like spends like a certain amount, they'll get the tote bag, and that is a good idea. I'm gonna do that in the future, but I also have this that I can brand my paper bags too. So that was why I got it in the first place, and it's probably been out of commission for like probably all of 2024. So I'm gonna get back to do it. Also, I need to find, I think I have more shopping bags, but I can only find like 10 or something. So hopefully I want to make a lot of sales, but hopefully they don't need a bag or anything like that. Okay, so I'll show you my setup and kind of show you what the mall is looking like. I'm not going to go too far from my area, so there's not like a ton of people around me. And then once I do that, I'm very grateful that I made a call to bring my laptop. So I'm just gonna like edit last week's video, or not last week's video, but I guess like the video that you have seen before this one. So technically Monday's video, I guess. So I brought my computer so that I can work on editing that, because I was pretty sure that it was going to be really slow and that I was going to be kind of bored, and it's looking like it's going to be that way. I just hope, I'm going to set my goal for 200. I would like to leave with my car being lighter than it was when I got here. So hopefully that happens. I don't know. I need to charge my mic so I can do vendor corner, to figure out who I want to do vendor corner for. So yeah, so let me show you my setup in the mall. That is what the setup is looking like. I kind of decided to make it so the grid wall is facing out that way, and I wanted that rack to be there. Originally I wanted it to be back there, and I had my IKEA rack right there, but obviously I don't have the IKEA rack, and I thought it'd be better to have the rack that way so that the Manatee fan club is facing out so people can see it when they walk by, instead of having to walk by, turn and look, like they just see it right away. So that is what it is looking like. I need to fill this space. I have shirts. I don't know why I didn't fill this space, but that is what that is looking like. At Milk Mart, y'all, all my signs like melted in the sun. So it's clipped up there when I came out. It's clipped up there, but it's bent. So I need to figure out, I might want to put like a little sign like right here or something. I want to figure out what I want that to be made of. And then here is the grid wall situation. Bow, bow, bow. Here's my new little strawberry tote. That looks so cute. There's that. I put a bunch of totes at the back. And then what I decided to do in here, so I brought my keychain thing. Probably a bad idea because it took up a bunch of space and took up a long time, and I don't think anyone's gonna come in here today, really. I don't want to be negative Nancy, but this is what the current situation is. But these are those new sublimated shirts that I made. More sublimated kid shirts. These are sublimated shirts I made like a long time ago, and I just had them like on a shelf, so I was like, I'll just bring them. So I've got all of these, the other adult one, and then I have these out so people can see the backs of the 2 shirts up there that just have like the front cowboy boot and then the cowboy hat, so that's so they can see it. And here's my sign. Let me scoot my sign. But yeah, there's supposed to be multiple people right there, and then multiple people over here. I'll walk down there and see if there's anyone down there. There's one person set up. I'll probably do my vendor corner with her. I have not met her yet. And then this is a little store that I think has like local people's stuff, so that's kind of cute. I wonder what the situation is in there. I'll have to figure it out. But this is what it is looking like. Very mall-like. But I think the Dillard's here just opened up. So if you've ever thought to yourself, wow, I really wish I knew where a Dillard's was, it's here at the Seminole County Mall. So this is what our little area is looking like. And there's some more people down here. I don't want to walk too far away, but there are a couple people over here. And then there's the upstairs with the food court. But yeah, so this traffic is pretty light, so kind of unfortunate, but it is what it is. Let me come over here to this area. I'm very intrigued by what is going on in here. Maybe this is what they were talking about. They sent out an email saying like there's a space. How fun. I'll have to ask about what this is. Oh, also this is ran by SNAP, which is the Special Needs Advocacy Program, so they're the ones putting this on today. But yeah, I will have to figure it out. Oh, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna grab one of these. See, like I wonder if you have to actually like man it. But it doesn't really, I mean, I guess there are people manning it. I don't know, I'll give my thoughts on it. Okay, so here are my thoughts on becoming a monthly indoor entrepreneur in there. I don't know, because like, I mean, I'll have to see how it goes today. So far, it doesn't look like it's gonna go really great. But for $280 a month, having a space in there, I don't know. It's open Friday and Saturdays, 11 to 7:30, and Sundays from 12 to 5:30. But like, I couldn't be there on Fridays. Seems like $280 for only those couple of days. I don't think that's a good deal. I'm gonna put this back because I don't actually want it. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead, put this back up and start to work on my video, and maybe the next time you'll see me, I'll be doing way better, or maybe the next time you see me, I'll be doing my vendor corner. But it's not looking too hot, but it's not looking too hot inside either. See what I did there? Okay, that was actually really lame, just ignore that. 1 o'clock check-in, so we were sitting at a big fat 0. There's just not a ton of traffic going through here, so I mean, today might be a wash, but I'm out here, I'm doing my thing. I've just been like working on my computer, doing the edits and stuff like that. I'm letting my mic charge, so probably what I'm gonna do is set you up on the display over here and do a time lapse and kind of let you see the flow of traffic coming into the mall. I thought that I was going to single-handedly bring back the mall by doing this today, but looks like I'm failing. But I'm gonna do that, and then probably after that I will do my vendor corner, I think is what I'm thinking. So yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and set you up and show you that. Actually, before I do that, let me share a little snippet of a mall story with you guys, just so you can learn a little bit more about me. But when me and Ethan were living in Kentucky, and this was around like 2018, 2019, I actually worked at the mall. Originally, I was working at a lab, but then I wanted to go into dental school, so I needed to take a couple more classes, and I wanted to get some like dental experience too. So I applied for this thing called the Smile Lab. I think they still have the Smile Lab, and it's part of this orthodontic group called White Gruer and Maggard in Kentucky, like in Lexington, like Louisville, like I think they're like growing really big, so they probably own like a ton of different orthodontist things in Kentucky. And I worked at this thing called the Smile Lab before I actually moved into working into the orthodontic office itself as like an orthodontic assistant. Like I put on braces and stuff like that. But before I did that, I worked at the Smile Lab, and basically the Smile Lab is like a retail location that was at the mall, and also kind of at this, not a mall, but a shopping center called Summit at Fritz Farm. And basically what I did was I scanned people's teeth and took pictures for Invisalign and did like the financial parts of it and communicated with the doctors about it. So it was kind of really funny. I worked inside the mall, but like I was doing like dental stuff. So yeah, so if you've ever had braces or Invisalign, you know that it's a pretty serious process. But I was working at the mall telling people if they were eligible or not. So kind of an intense thing to do at the mall, but yeah. So I got my dental experience doing that, and then I shifted into working into the office. But yeah, I worked at the mall for a little bit, and I really liked the Fayette County Mall in Lexington. That's like one of my favorite malls. I really liked my mall growing up, obviously, but it's a little bit sketchy where I'm from, that mall. But the Fayette County Mall was really nice, and this mall is pretty nice. It's just malls are done pretty much. But yeah, that is my little mall story, that I liked the mall and I worked in the mall. But yeah, that's all. I'll set you up now. Okay, so kind of funny story. I went to do vendor corner and I went to 3 separate people and they all said no. So I don't think I'm gonna ask anyone else if they want to do vendor corner today. So unfortunately, I do not have a vendor corner to share with you guys. I asked a bunch of people kind of like in this area over here, and they were just like, oh, like they weren't comfortable being on camera, which like I totally get, totally fine, but it is just funny. All of them were like, so no vendor corner today. One of the people I asked said that she would think about it, so maybe she'll come over here. I really wanted to like video her stuff and like talk to her about it, because she was like doing like live painting over there, or she was using colored pencils and she was coloring over there, and everything was really cute. But obviously don't want to like force anyone to like talk to me or force them to like let me video their stuff. So maybe she'll change her mind and decide that she's into it. So I don't know, but right now it is 1:35 and we're still at. So I'm gonna get back to editing my video and I will update you on if anything changes. I've changed my mind. I'm gonna go back here and ask this henna person if they would do vendor corner or if they wanted to do vendor corner. So let's just go see, and maybe this time they'll say yes. So what is your name and what is your business name?
My name is Hannah Fainer and I own Sensational Stains Henna.
And tell me all about henna. What is the process?
Okay, so what I do is I draw on my customers with these little piping bags of henna. It's like an all-natural herbal paste that has henna powder, there's some essential oils, sugar, stuff like that. and it dries on the skin. I'm actually modeling one right
Ooh.
now. So this layer, it dries and then it flakes off.
So this is like a new one?
Yes, so I just did this earlier today. This is probably like an hour or so old.
Very cool.
It starts out orange and then it'll eventually like oxidize into a richer brown.
So like kind of like this one on your hand?
Yes, so that one it's pretty well faded.
It looks pretty good still.
Yeah, that one's over a week old. So on hands, normally I tell people they look good for about a week. Other parts of the body more like 2 weeks.
A little longer, yeah.
Yes.
Makes sense. So how long have you been doing henna?
So altogether, I've been doing henna for around 7 years. So it started out as a hobby, and then I started this business in the beginning of this year. But before I started this business, I did it for Disney for about a year before that. So
do you do private parties, and can you like travel around to people?
Yep. I pretty much stick to like the Central Florida area, but I'll go like all the way to like Tampa Bay area to like Daytona, kind of wherever the business is. That's where I'll go. But I can do like bridal showers, birthday events, basically whatever's clever. I mostly like travel around and do festivals and stuff like that, and I'm always posting where I'm going to be next.
That's perfect. What is your favorite part about doing henna?
My favorite part about doing henna is just like that it's a creative outlet. I've always been an artist my whole life, and just kind of getting people excited about artwork is really exceptional.
Perfect. And where can we find you on social media?
So I'm on Facebook and Instagram. So on Facebook, it's just Sensational Stains Henna. And then on Instagram, it's Sensational Stains Henna, but there's an underscore between each of the words.
Awesome blossom. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
2 and 3 o'clock check-in. So we are still sitting at a nice 0. So yeah, it's not going very good, obviously. I did finish editing the video that's going to be posted on Monday, so I'm glad that I am done with that. So Ethan will have to watch that tonight and give me the all clear that it's good to go. And then I've also just like been listening to Midnight Sun, which if you don't know what that is, that's like Twilight from Edward's perspective. So I've been listening to that, and I'm about 16 hours in, so I'm kind of like getting to the end of it. I guess like it's just only the Twilight book that Midnight Sun covers. I kind of thought that Midnight Sun covered like Edward's part through all 4 of the books, but I guess it's just the Twilight part of it. That's fine. I'm trying to think about what I'm going to listen to after that. I think after that I've got another Wheel of Time book in my Libby app. Let me see. Yeah, I think it's Wheel of Time. Yeah, Lord of Chaos, and I also could listen to Fourth Wing. I don't know. I just like can't find myself like wanting to listen to it. I don't know. Maybe I'll try to. I keep like delaying when I get it delivered. So that's kind of like what I have been doing. I feel like there was something else that I wanted to talk about related to this event. They have cones set out for where people were supposed to set up, and I think they just need to collect them because people keep tripping over them and then they set them back up. So I don't really know what the deal with that is. There was another thing that I was going to tell you. I don't remember. If I remember, I'll come back on here and tell you. I think it was something funny and interesting, and I should have written it down. Okay, hopefully it'll come back to me and I'll be able to tell you what I was thinking, but it was something silly about this event. But yeah, so I will check in at 4 o'clock, and I'm going to bet it's another $0, but who knows, maybe this next hour it'll go really, really crazy and I'll make $1 million. 4 o'clock check-in. So unfortunately, I think I'm gonna have to do something a little bit unprecedented for me, something that I typically don't recommend doing and typically don't like other people doing, but I think I'm gonna have to do it in about 15 minutes. Ethan is going to pack the boys up and come up here and help me pack the car so that I can get out of here quick. So I think like by 5 I'm gonna be packing up and getting out of here. I say 15 minutes because he's actually cooking the swirly rolls that I prepped the dough for last night. So he's cooking those right now, and when those are done he's gonna pack them up, and it's about a 30-minute drive up here to come get me. And I would say I would pack up like by myself, but I think I would appreciate to have his backup so I can get out of here really, really quickly. So that will be me packing up early, but today has been, in my opinion, a huge waste of time because it was a lot to come up here, and it was a lot to like unload my car, and I had to bring it really far to come in here, and it took me kind of a long time setting up, and a lot of other vendors like just didn't come at all, and unfortunately the mall is not where it's at. so there's not been any sales. There's been like no traffic in my booth. I think I've had like one person come in here. So I don't want to be the person that packs up and leaves, but unfortunately there's just there's no reason for me to be here if I'm not making any sales and I'm not making any connections, really, because also like there are no vendors around me, and like I'm kind of turned the wrong way too, but there's like hardly anyone around me, so it's not like I'm like talking to people. So I've just been kind of sitting here hanging out. I talked to my mom on the phone, talked to Ethan, and it just kind of feels like I need to go because I'd rather be at home spending the time with my husband and my kids. So I think definitely today I do not recommend anyone doing any events at the Seminole County or Seminole Town Center. I think that if I had paid the $35 to be here today, I would be absolutely livid. And I feel bad because it does go to a really good organization. I totally back Snap and like everything that they do, all the services they provide. But unfortunately, this is just not, like, I also have bills I have to pay. So I just want to say to any other small business owner who is around the Central Florida area who's thinking about maybe doing this, because I saw this event posted in one of the Central Florida vendors groups. If you see that, do not be tempted by it. So I unfortunately cannot recommend this market and kind of feel like you should stay away from it. But that's what my thoughts are right now. I hate to be a negative Nancy about it, obviously, but like, this is just not where it's at, and I don't think that anyone coming here can be successful under any circumstances. So yeah, that's where my head is at right now, but I will check in later and let you know what my status is. 5 o'clock check-in, and I remember what it was that I was going to talk about earlier. So after I came in and checked in and got my spot number, I had to go back upstairs to, you know, go get my car. And the escalators were broken, so I had to take the elevator, and the elevator like certificate of like safety inspection is like over a year expired. And one of the organizers was in there, and I was like, oh, the elevator's expired. And she went, she was like, the new owners will take care of that, I'm sure. And it's like, should we be using this elevator? Like, is that chill? But yeah, so that happened. That was pretty weird. But yeah, it's 5 o'clock and we're still at a whopping $0. And Ethan is on his way to come get me right now, or not come get me, but come help me pack up. I went ahead and packed up the keychains on the keychain display, and I think I'm gonna go ahead and start tackling some of the stuff on the rack and over here, and kind of maybe start clearing the table too. But yeah, really unfortunate that today was such a bust, especially coming off of Milk Mart last week. Like, I don't know, it's like I feel bad, but like this is just like not, like I feel bad leaving. I don't know if I already said this. I feel bad leaving, but this is not serving me or anyone else, so I'm ready to just like pack up, go home and hang out with my kids and my husband. So I'll check in more later with some more kind of like final thoughts when I get home, but that is how I'm feeling right now, and I will see you when I get home. Happy Sunday. Obviously yesterday did not go super well, and when I was packing up and starting to leave, a bunch of other people around me started packing up to leave too, and I hate that I had to be the one to start that sort of mass exodus from the mall early, but I don't think it was serving any of us business owners. I don't think it was serving the mall. I don't think it was serving any of the people at the mall, because there was like nobody at the mall except for us. So I hate to be the one to do that, but definitely I just kind of feel like there was nobody there, and our time as small business owners could be better spent either working on our small business or with our family. So I definitely think yesterday was like too long of a day to be there, and also just like there was no one there, so everyone should have just left. And it's like I feel bad about that, but it was just, there was nobody shopping, so like there was a ton of us and we were all spread out and there were a bunch of empty spaces. So I kind of also wrote down some of the cons of yesterday. Very low foot traffic throughout the day. I'm telling you, malls, people are not going to malls anymore, and if they are going to malls, they're going either there to just like hang out and kill time, or they're going there to like go to a specific store. Like, oh, everyone that I came in contact with yesterday, which was very few people, were like, oh, like I didn't know this was happening at the mall today. So no one was there with the intention of kind of like visiting some of the vendors that were there. And another thing that was really weird was how long the check-in process was. It was really, really weird. It was like when you got there, you had to like go downstairs and go to a table to check in, and the line was really long, and the person who was checking us in like was going through the list and getting like finding out where you were, and then you had to like fill out this form with like a bunch of information with like your address, your phone number, your email, and then you had to sign a bunch of stuff. And then they had to take that paper and like make sure you filled it out correctly, and then they would check you in. So literally that took like 20 minutes of my setup time, was just like me waiting in line, having to fill it out, and then like rechecking. And then it took them a really long time to find me on the map, and then they wouldn't let me take a picture of the map. So that was just like a really weird, like I've never had a check-in process like that. And then it was kind of a complicated unloading situation. So like after I checked in, I had to go back upstairs, get my car, move my car to a different place, and then unload through a back corridor that was pretty long. So like I had to take a bunch of trips back and forth. And I mean, because I pack a lot of stuff, that takes longer for me, obviously. And because I was by myself, it takes me longer, obviously. But just checking in and unloading my stuff like took like almost an hour. So that was just no good. And then yeah, lots of empty spaces is the other thing I wrote. They had a bunch of people on the list, and they said there were going to be like 92 vendors there, but there were not 92 vendors there, and there were like so many empty spots. It was weird. And like I know there's probably nothing that they can do on the day of, because probably a lot of people were like, oh, like it was free, I can just like back out. So like a lot of people, like they didn't have anything to lose, so they just didn't come, which is like fine on them. Like, you know, they can do like whatever they want, but it made it so that like a lot of us were just like spread out across 2 floors, but just kind of like away from each other. So that was really, really weird. And I didn't really get a chance to like go and like look at anyone else's things really. I could only kind of see the people like around me, and a lot of people around me were like service providers. Like the girl beside me, Nadine, who was very, very nice, she worked for a business that does like shower like liner installs, like I think it's what it is, like the like one-piece showers that you just like install. I want to get one of those for my house because I don't like cleaning like tile and bathroom like on the shower or whatever. That's just some extra information for me, but I want to get like a one liner where I can just like easily wipe it down. I hate grout stuff. So there's a lot of service providers like that, and then kind of like some like there was a bow girl, and then there was someone who sold really intense pottery, which was cool. And then there was like some people that did like sublimation tumblers, but I think there were like multiple people doing the tumblers there. So there was also like a lot of like doubles. Like there weren't very many people there, but there were a lot of doubles. And then there was like a party planning thing, and then like a really cute like boutique. So it's just kind of like random stuff, but it was like really sprawled out. And so I feel really bad about leaving early. Like I would never want to do that, but like there was nobody to like buy anything there, so it just kind of felt like I was wasting my time and kind of was just sitting there when I could be with my family. So that's why I decided to dip. So Ethan came and helped me pack up, and we left, and it was a really, really easy like pack up situation because Ethan was there. So like Ethan was bringing stuff to the car while I was putting stuff in the car, and the boys were just like hanging out with me. So I definitely do not recommend doing anything related to malls in general, specifically the Seminole County City Square Mall. I actually don't think it's that long of a name, but yeah, I don't recommend doing anything there. And like I'd be really annoyed if I paid the $35. And like I was showing yesterday, they have like this marketplace thing where you pay like, I think it was $280. I'll have to look back and see if it was $280 for like a spot in there for the month, and it's 3 days, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So it's like Friday, Saturday, Sunday 4 times a month for like $280 or whatever. And like my thing is like that, I don't want to say it's a scam because obviously they are trying to revitalize the mall and they're trying to like bring people in, but I would be very annoyed as a business owner if I paid that much and it took away all of my weekends, because I think you have to be in there to man your booth. If it took away 3 days where I could be doing like Milk Mart or doing like Markets for Makers or doing Dancing in the Street or doing any event that could do better, I could not imagine having all my weekends tied to having to sit in an empty mall. So if you are watching this and you've ever considered getting a spot there or doing something like at the mall, do not do it, because you do not want to be locked in having spent that money and spending all that time doing that. And I will say this is probably the most negative I've been about an event or a situation, just because it just feels like I can stop someone from wasting a bunch of time, energy, and money doing this. So like I said, anything at the mall, Seminole City Square Mall, or whatever it's called, don't do it. Save your money, save your time, save your energy, save your mental happiness, your mental state, and just don't do it. So yeah, so that is the end of my long negative rant, and it is Sunday, so we're probably gonna go do some fun stuff. We may go to Animal Kingdom, we may go to Magic Kingdom. I don't really know, it's kind of up in the air today, but if we do anything fun and I remember to include it, I will include that footage here. So I really hope you enjoyed this video. I know it was kind of a little intense, probably just because of how negative I felt about it, because I definitely feel like this is the most negative I felt about an event, just because like the vibes were off. It was just really weird. Just like think about sitting in a silent mall from like 9:30 a.m. until, you know, I left a little bit after 5. Imagine if I had been there till 7:30, like just sitting in silence. So yeah, so that was like pretty crazy. So that was my review of this market, and I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please be sure to give me a thumbs up and subscribe for more behind the scenes small business content and craft fair vlogs, and I hope to see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye!
Beneath the starlit sky, our love's secret line, like leaves we soar so high. Beneath the moonlight, soft touch your hand in mine, gets me every time. Lost in the city lights, our love's electric, right? You make me feel alive.